Greetings, everyone. Hope all of you are having an absolutely fantastic day. Earlier this week, I finally finished our live stream playthrough of Kingdom Come Deliverance. Now, there's some content I want to get out about this game. I'm definitely going to do a review. I plan to go through all the perks. Even though I know the vast majority of people have already played the game, I figured it'll be good practice when I finally get my hands on the sequel. But I thought what would also be cool is to walk through what is my all-time favorite moment in the entire game. I think that might not only be a cool opportunity for many of you who have already played the game to relive one of its classic moments, but also some of the people who have not played the game who want to get a sense for why this game is so cool and why so many people enjoy it. Hopefully this video will give you some of that information. So with all that's being said, let's go ahead and dive in. So you play as Henry, and Henry is a person who's a peasant. He's absolutely at the bottom of the barrel. His parents are murdered shortly into the game. A lot of crazy, terrible things happen to him. But he ends up in the service of Lord Radzig, and he tasks Henry with going out to a farm and finding out what has happened to some people who bandits have overrun. The moment you walk in, a cutscene starts and the scene is absolutely brutal. Dead human bodies, dead horse corpses, a widow weeping over her husband. It's just absolutely a horrifying sight, and really hammers home that there's some people roaming around out here that you absolutely need to stop. Now, after speaking with her and doing a series of investigations, sooner or later you're going to end up at a windmill, and you're going to speak to a barmaid who has some information about a guy named Timmy that you're hoping to find. She agrees to talk with you, but says she wants to do it in private behind the windmill. So automatically I expected to get jumped. But very quickly it becomes clear that she doesn't have any nefarious motives. She just wants to be clear that you're not going to kill Timmy if she tells you where he is. So this automatically brings my guard down. It makes me feel like, all right, this is going to be a little short convo. I'll use some persuasion, convince her to tell me what I know, and then I'll be on about my way. Once I've actually convinced her to share Timmy's location with me, a cutscene starts, and she immediately has a look of fear, but the player is not allowed to see what it is she's so afraid of. She comes to my ear and whispers Timmy's location, and then slowly I turn around to witness 4 bandits slowly approaching me and then surrounding me. Now, in Kingdom Come Deliverance, this is a big deal. In some games, you're kind of a one-man army where you're just shredding everyone you come across. And it's possible that you did a lot of power leveling early in the game so that you're very prepared for this situation. But if you're like me and just played the game normally, then by this point in the game, you're not really built to take on even 3, much less 4 bandits all at the same time, especially when they are well armed. So this scenario pretty much looks like death, and that's exactly how I reacted to it. Uh-oh. Whoa! 4 of them? 4 of them? Oh, snap. Yo, that's crazy.
I've got the feeling you're looking for someone here. I'm looking for someone too. Maybe we could help each other.
Probably not. Good Lord. 4 of them? Warhorse did an amazing job in this game of adding little small details that you could easily miss, but that flesh out the experience even more if you notice them. For example, there's a lot of people that you only talk to once in this game, and you don't really have to note their names. But if you take a moment to look down at the persuasion screen, you'll notice that this main bandit you're talking to is named Morcock, which personally I find to be hilarious and extremely fitting. As I mentioned before, towards the beginning of the game, your parents are going to be murdered, your village is going to be destroyed. Basically, your entire life is upended, and it's a really shitty couple of hours starting out. But then you get some armor, you get a weapon, you come across a couple of people who have at least a modicum of respect for what you're capable of doing. They allow you to participate in the investigation. It seems like life is about to be turning back up, and maybe you can pull together the pieces and try to figure things out. But nope. This guy is here to let you know ain't nothing going to change. Your life is always going to be crap. And just when you thought things were going to get better, here he comes to stuff you full of more cock. So, of course, I decided to try to do the dummy and just take them straight up. And, that worked out just about the way you probably think it did. Why? Come on, man. Why didn't they? Damn. He immediately didn't care about. Oh, my God.
Shit.
Somebody's doing incredible damage to me. Yeah, that's not close. Now, of course, there are a bunch of people in chat telling me that I could do much better. So I was like, hey, let's give it another go.
Well now, look what's come cool.
Good Lord.
Way off.
Had enough?
I'm trying to back up.
What's the matter?
Yeah, no. Yeah, I'm getting destroyed.
Bring it on!
It is not close. I'm getting destroyed. All right. Yeah, no, it's not happening. So finally, I decided, all right, all-out combat is not going to work. Let me go ahead and just try to convince this guy to leave and see if that'll help me. And this brings up one of the things I really, really like about Kingdom Come. Usually, you have multiple ways to resolve just about any scenario, whether it be through dialogue, sneaking, flat out brute force, intimidation. Even when you're persuading people, there's multiple ways to persuade. There's actual speech, there's your charisma, which it combines a multitude of factors, including how you're dressed, how clean you are, what your relationship is like with that particular person. And then there's intimidation, which also can take into account how you're dressed. If you're wearing heavy plate armor, carrying a heavy sword, it's going to be much easier to convince somebody that you're really not someone they want to mess with. So I love the way I usually have a plethora of options as far as how to deal with any situation. Really cool stuff. So I used persuasion and it worked correctly. Now, one of the really, really cool things I like about this game is that not only does it force realism upon the player, but in a lot of situations, it also forces realism on your enemies. So in a lesser game, once I convinced Morcock to leave me alone and go to a different city, a cutscene would have occurred and his whole group would have just disappeared and I would have been forced to just meet them at another time in the game. But that's not the way it works usually in Kingdom Come. So in this situation, I convinced them to walk away and then none of those people have a horse. So what do? They start trotting down the road. And on top of that, they leave one person with me because he's supposed to guard me and basically ensure that I don't do anything stupid while they're away. So of course, I took out my sword, cut him up, got on my horse, and immediately started chasing those people down. Frankly, if I got on my horse, I might have been able to take. They are here. Oh, you assholes. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see. I've never done this before, actually. Because cutting somebody up from on top of a horse is significantly easier than being on the ground one-on-one. So again, this game gives you options, right? You could go ground combat. You can get on your horse and use mounted combat. I could have not used my melee weapon and instead pulled out a bow and shot at them from my horse if I wanted to. So many ways to approach different situations. In this one, I screwed up because even though I saw those bandits running along the side, I then came across a separate group of bandits that were waiting to hijack people and they ended up slaughtering me. So I still had to reload this again. But finally, on this last reload, I tore up the archer that they left with me. Then I got on my horse and absolutely obliterated Morcock and one of his henchmen, and then finally tore down the other guy as well. Incredibly satisfying experience. It felt so freaking cool to basically trick these guys into giving me the advantage when they started out having such a significant advantage over me. Just all around great stuff. And while this is my favorite moment in Kingdom Come Deliverance, there are a ton of other moments that are smaller, but just like this, where the game rewards you for ingenuity or just gives you a plethora of different ways in order to resolve situations where you really feel like the world is your oyster. I'm really happy with my playthrough through this game, and I cannot wait for the sequel. So that's the video. Hopefully it gives you all a better perspective of why I enjoy the game, why many other people enjoy the game, and why possibly it might be a game that you might want to try out, or perhaps try out the sequel when it comes out next week. Hope all of you enjoy this video. Take care.